That's right.
Hey, hey.
Man.
Well?
Hey. You.
Connie, why are you here and not at the music venue like you're fucking supposed to be?
All right.
What? Just what? Hajime Hinata is gay, ladies and gentlemen. He is super gay. All the dicks lined up in his mouth. Seriously.
Hey, hey. Yo.
Wait, so you're not okay with wearing the one that you were already in, but you're okay with putting on the one that was on Nagito's body? Thank you.
Like,
Well, I mean, by itself, that's not a particularly big thing. But also, there's the whole thing where, like, Mikana's basically lying on top of him, and his whole thing is like, don't get on top of him, or I'll get on you. That's not what I'm talking about. It's like, dude. I understand it's a situation of extreme duress. But come on. You've been on this island for like 2 weeks, and all you've been doing is crying into the pillow and passing out from exhaustion. I wonder if they have a laundry room on this island. At least I haven't seen one.
hey. 'Cause hey.
What?
Aww.
Yeah, Chiaki Nanami is the physical incarnation of 4chan, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, hey. Well? See? See? Nope.
So you have appeared. Listen well.
I wonder, how does this guy talk to his parents and teachers?
Damn right. I see. Hey. I see. Like... Well, yeah. Well. Huh? Jeez.
So if it's between her or Mikan, I don't know. So if it's Sonya or Akane, you're perfectly fine with either one of them dying, though, right?
Oh my. However, perhaps, you are right. Perhaps
Yeah, instead of helping her...
Hyoko, by chance, are you having trouble wearing your kimono?
Stupid! What are you saying? Of course I can do it! Because Mahiru taught me. That's why I can do it on my own.
If that is the case, how about you do it someplace where there is a mirror? Do you remember the full-length mirror in the storage room at the music venue? If you do it while standing in front of a large mirror, I am confident you will be successful. Also, shutting yourself in your room like this may be bad for your health.
So instead of offering to help her or anything productive, she says, why don't you go over to the fucking music venue while your clothes are fucking falling off and try to tie it there?
It cannot be.
Or why didn't you offer to go over with her or just go over, get it, and bring it back? You're so helpful, Sonia.
Hello! How's everybody doing? It's me, Monokuma! Yay! Awesome! The class trial's gonna start, you know.
She is kind of a weeaboo, Aaron. I would imagine that would be a thing she would know. But even if she doesn't know, at the very least with two people doing it, hopefully Hiyoko could help her.
So, make sure you guys come to Monokuma Rock ASAP! I'll see you soon!
Sonia is a gigantic fucking weeaboo, don't forget. She's telling Hajime about freaking 20-year-old Japanese television shows and all kinds of other crazy shit. Yeah, but Sonia likes everybody. Alright. Y'all have been given enough time. I walked you through all the evidence that we had. It's time. Who's the killer? Mike says, Sonia, never mind. Crystal says, Sonia, never mind. Oh, come on, Sonia isn't even that likable. Lola says, Sonia, never mind. Shannon says, Sonia, never mind. Yeah, the only two who don't have alibis are Kazuichi and Sonia. That's it. They haven't brought up Kazuichi at all, except asking him about the video very briefly. And the only indication that Sonia might potentially have anything problematic is that she recommended for Hiyoko to go over to the building. Fuyuhiko said he went over to... Fuyuhiko said he went over to the hospital and met up with Mikan almost immediately, and they both went over and started looking for Ibuki, who was missing. And Mikan was with me from when she woke up to when we got to the hospital, went and did her business, and then came out to see whatever the fuck. Fuyuhiko doesn't have an alibi from roughly about 720 before that. Yeah, from 720 onward, Fuyuhiko was with Mikan. Well, from all indications, they're saying that the despair disease was affecting them all the way up until the point where the bodies were discovered, at which point Monokuma is then saying it wasn't. That's my theory. They don't really say. But honestly, you can pick whoever you want. Is that your final answer, Eileen? Yeah, he was afflicted by the despair disease. They're basically saying that the despair disease was afflicting them basically almost up until the point where the body was discovered. So you could probably say that he was still under its influence. Whether or not that would prevent him from committing a murder, I couldn't tell you. No, we're still here. No, you can't. So your original vote was Sonia, then? Is that where you're going with that? Like, you can pick whoever you want. Whoever you think did it is fine. Chapter 3. Oh, is he still muting this? This chapter sucks, Josh. Okay, so anyway, Eileen, who's your pick? Okay, goddammit, no more fucking talking about who the killer is. Or you're all getting fucking banned. You're not gonna actually get banned. But goddammit, I want to fucking start this already. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Ow. Stab myself in the gum. I hurt so much. I'm gonna need a minute. Okay, I'm good now. Alright, and Zeke, you said you can't vote for it because you read it on the wiki? Alright, so... Oh, it's fine. Oh my god. Alright, so everybody's going with Sonya universally. Alright, let's do this. I'm bleeding a little bit. It's alright. I'll be fine.
Welcome!
Wait!
Mon Ami's such a dumb child.
Hey! Hey, hey!
Yes. Anyway, bye-bye.
I won't let you.
Hey, hey! Huh?
Damn it!
Well... How about it?
What do you...
See?
I'm gonna do it!
Aw. Poor D. Sleep tight. Thank you for coming all the same. We'll be sure to suffer plenty in your absence. Oh, you're very welcome. Sleep tight, do not succumb to despair.
What?
Hey, hey!
No, no!
I don't know, I feel like most of the characters in this game are pretty good.
Let's...
I didn't like Hiyoko, but I felt that she was a robust character.
Well now.
Yoo-hoo!
I don't like Nagito at all, but he's absolutely a robust character. Oh, and for reference purposes, one of these pages, by association, is going to turn entirely red. Oh yeah, all of the characters you dislike in this game, you dislike for very specific reasons. Well, no, I'm not going to die.
Now then, during the class
Maybe.
trial, you will present your argument if you vote.
Nobody fucking cares, Monokuma, we know.
Cares about this boring
Exactly.
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out. You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that?
Listen up! The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
What? What?
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments.
Yes, we should. Akane has very little of worth to offer to the trial, and Nagito's a douche fuck.
Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Then, Let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Nikon, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 in the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Allow me to spare Mike the response there. Is there anything to notice but her boobs? He already, yeah, he beat me to it. Never mind. He beat me to it.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened.
Probably.
Nikon came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Nikon rest in the on-call room, since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue. And unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. The only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then, I noticed Ibuki was gone. So, I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko. So I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
In various ways.
Various ways?
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the 4 of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hyoko's, and not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so, we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily. Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who... Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true?
I'm gonna stab you in your fucking neck, you piece of shit.
Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious. Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body, then you could be lying as much as you want right now.
Lie? Why would I lie?
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
You know damn well I'm not the killer, you piece of shit. You literally know it.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were...
That I didn't fucking see, you piece of shit.
There's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that.
Oh, fuck you.
Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec! You're the one who brought this up in the first place!
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. It also provides a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway. Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Well, no, that's the first trial.
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it. Ibuki committed suicide.
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Not according to my guide, but okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible. That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
I'm pretty sure you're trolling right now, but I'm not 100% on it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Me too?
What the hell? Why is it gonna be us? The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that.
I don't know what that face is, honestly. It just looks like a dude in a hat. Or with gray hair.
And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
I feel like they should have done more with that. Like made like Ibuki's face drumsticks or something.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru. Me too!
Hey, why are you talking like... Huh? You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you? Please stop making bad jokes.
Anyway, If the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
I don't know what that face, like, I don't, like, I mean, like, it's, I just don't know what that's supposed to be. Is that like a Twitch thing?
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall. Is this his professional skill?
You and the captain make it happen.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside.
Nope.
No, that's wrong.
Oh, okay.
Wait a second. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
Is he just a giant troll then? Like, was that like his thing as an admin? He was a troll? So I'm thinking if that's the case, either he was a giant troll or he was a giant dick and nobody liked him. Which is strangely appropriate, given that Twitch is a fucking pain in the ass.
From the outside? How? There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
Yeah. It was a gummy! No.
I see! That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
I feel like I'm supposed to make a comment there in some capacity or another, but you're not really that much of a dick, Josh, so I can't really make like a joke there that works. Sorry. I failed.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness. And I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue. I didn't know glue was edible. I believe it is not something one typically eats.
No, I've heard the joke just joshing you. I'm just saying. I mean, your name is Josh. His name could be Josh. I don't know. No, you seem like you're a nice enough guy. I mean, I'm not in the fighting game community, so I don't really know for certain.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched.
You might be a giant troll to other people who play fighting games.
By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. What? It fits perfectly. But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know? That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Yeah, see, now Fuyuhiko's actually a decent person. Before, if we had called him out on the drumstick and been like, shut your fucking mouth, you fucking whore! And now he's like, I fucked up.
Apologize to Miss Sonia. And me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed will poke like me?
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away
Wow.
from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
That's right. Just what is this scrap anyway?
Oh god, this nonsense. Dick. Gentle, I did all the shit that I needed to do with white noise. I don't fucking feel like playing on the harder difficulties for this. It was problematic enough doing it for the trophies. And to be perfectly honest, I fucking hate improved Hangman's Gambit at this point, so I just don't feel like fucking dealing with it.
In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there?
If so, you're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting, the tear in the wallpaper. See? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
You can, just not all of them. Well, to be fair, that is the sort of thing that would have appeared in fucking VLR too. So, oh, okay. I've totally forgotten how to jump. Yeah. Note to aspiring streamers, don't try to fucking pay attention to your chat and the jumping puzzle at the same time. It's not a good idea. Alright.
It's all coming together. I got it. Kyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Kyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar. So using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers is to make it look like that killer.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper.
Yeah, and then they wonder why Virtue's Last Reward didn't sell well. I wonder.
And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
Killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on it.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
The crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hiyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
I don't know, I liked VLR, but my problem was it was... Yeah, oh yeah. There were definitely some major fucking Scumbag Steve puzzles in that fucking game. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. No, I get you. I just felt like the game was entirely too windy and self-important. Like, when they talk about stuff in Danganronpa with, like, you know, Prisoner's Dilemma and shit like that, they mention it, they explain it, they go. It's just in, out, done. Gives you the concept, lets you know that it exists, and explains it in a way that makes you feel like you get the concept of what they're trying to explain. In VLR, they would just fucking go on and on and on about it. Worse than they did in 999, a lot worse. And it just got to a point where eventually I was like, great, you fucking went to college, I get it, shut up.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
To be fair, I did give you the code to put in. I just said type in these numbers.
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them. I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her death
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie. Although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, The reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out. I see!
The reason the killer imitated 2 of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then, Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
That is a pretty good point.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Wow. You just got fucking smacked down, sir.
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim...
Hey, should we send Mikan over to the pharmacy to get you some fucking burn heal?
How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
What?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
I got through it for the review by pure dumb luck, but I only got to night 5 on stream, and then I was just like, yeah, I don't feel like dealing with it. Dude, Five Nights at Freddy's is fucking super popular. Oh, while you're here, Josh, what streaming application are you using? Are you using OBS? Are you using Evolve? Are you using XSplit? What program do you use for this?
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
Well, I was using that earlier, and it refuses to indicate that I'm online. None of the programs that I use will say that I'm online, and I don't understand why that is, and it's starting to piss me off.
You're one to talk.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree with that. Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something.
Yeah, like if you go and you look at my profile right now, I show up as offline.
That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
It does show red text at the top. So you're saying if it's dropping frames, it'll show up as offline? Like, it doesn't say dropped frames, it says high encoding CPU usage.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Hyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Yeah, high encoding CPU usage. An Intel Core i7, 2.8 gigahertz, 12 gigabytes of RAM, 64-bit operating system. The only reason it has a bad score is because I'm using a regular, I'm using a lower grade hard drive.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye! Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
I am presently using OBS, but earlier I was using XSplit and I was getting similar red text at the top. Hey man, back in the day, Bill Gates said 640K should be enough for anybody. But in this day and age, honestly, you know, the more RAM you have, the better. Well, you only really need, I think, 2 to run Windows 7 effectively. Anything beyond that is generally good. Just the more you have, you know, the more that you can do.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line.
No, I don't really think it is, sir. I don't think it's a good line at all. Oh, is that... Do you run a server off of that?
But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know.
Yeah, I'm not... Neither one of them indicated dropped frames. Even after several hours, they were both coming back at 0. It's just annoying that, like, it's specifically coming back and saying, you know, you have dropped frames, and it's like or that you're offline, and I don't understand why. It pisses me off because I haven't been online in like 3 months. Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status. However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
Oh god, here we go.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there.
Oh, it's only the first... Okay.
Just about 1 minute. Did you see a nice nightmare?
I thought this one was 2 prompts for some reason.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Bloop.
Allow me to cut through those words. That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's better than the fucking improved Hangman's Gambit.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Yes, I do. You look closely. There's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
Yeah, requiring touchscreen controls is kind of shitty. I'm not really a fan of that.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but... Ibuki must have already stepped in it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her...
Yeah, and there's not always a guarantee you even want to do anything touchscreen at that point. Like, touchscreen's convenient for stuff, but sometimes I just don't want to be bothered.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Oh, I skipped that part.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating. So I don't think they had to go that far.
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
If the time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yup. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time, too?
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Why me?
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death. But I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive! When Hajime first discovered if she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging.
I don't know. I listened to the Japanese voices, and I honestly feel like for the most part, the American voices are better. Like, I appreciate that they picked Monokuma's voice, for example, because it's the voice of Doraemon in Japan, and it has meaning for the Japanese people when they see that. But for me personally, I don't give a shit about Doraemon's Japanese voice actress. It just sounds like an old lady to me. And a lot of the other voices just didn't really work. Like, they were just okay. It was like, alright, whatever, they're fine. But the voices here, for the most part, really work. They're really good. I don't know, I listened to the Japanese voice acting just to confirm it for the purposes of the review, and I've never been back to it.
Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plans.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, just what was that video Hajime saw? According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps. They used hypnotism or something?
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi.
Wow, that didn't come out fucking terrifying as hell.
Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually live?
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement.
No, that I did not hear. I did not get far enough in to hear that. I went through... I got all the way up to the class trial, and then like a little into it, and that was enough for me, honestly. Oh, I may have to go back and check that out. Especially for the first case, because that case has one of the best ones.
And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
What did you think about the rest of them, though?
Then, we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
Oh, he does full crazy voice at that point? Okay.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi...
No, that's wrong.
Well, I mean, I do.
Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
You two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
Dude, you're gross.
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
That fucking face.
Too much info.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
Yeah, his crazy ranting is a lot more calm. I like it, but yeah, there are times when it feels like it would be best served if it was full on over the top, I'm gonna fucking stab you in your neck, acts crazy.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
I love Gundam's voice actor. It's just super intense and it's great. Soda's I don't honestly like. He sounds appropriately crouching in the bushes, looking at you with a pair of binoculars. Weird that the character kind of comes across as. So it works for me.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was? Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process. Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
I felt Makoto Negi's voice work was very good. Like it fit appropriately. And I mean, they had a reason for it, so...
What a disappointment!
Yeah, that's almost definitely true.
I've been put in such an unreasonable situation. Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this? We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead. No! This definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
Huh. It suddenly got quiet in here. Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
Man, this again.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too. If that happened, the imitation would have been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
Seriously, just shut up already! Shut up forever!
But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's rules.
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie. About the lion that got killed second.
That's the one Hyoko's body was imitating, right?
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by arrows, right? But Hyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape.
I don't know any yellow duct tape.
Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows. Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying, Hyoko's murder wasn't.
What?
I understand that imitation wasn't enough, but aren't you making a bunch of assumptions? It's not just the poor imitation. There are also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like, for example, why did Hyoko go to the music venue?
So, you're saying the truth behind Hyoko's murder is hidden?
I have no freaking clue what you're trying to say.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My 4 dark devas of destruction are getting riled up.
Well, maybe they'll bite you on your neck and you'll calm down. Yeah, his voice always just kind of sounds the same.
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue? There's no way you'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
Bloop.
I agree with that.
I love the homing mechanism. Push 2 buttons, shoot the
Went
comment.
to the music venue of her own free will.
So, exactly as I assumed.
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Hyoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the disparity views, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
There's no way she got abducted?
Yeah. There's a skill that you can turn on when you turn on I don't remember the name of it, the slowing down time mechanism, where the targeting reticule will immediately go to the weak spot in the argument. So literally all you have to do is press the right trigger, the targeting reticule goes immediately to the weak spot, and you're just, yeah, it's just a skill you tack on.
Hyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
I think so, yeah, hold on. I don't know if I have a list. Yeah, I do. Report card. Bloop. Is it in here? Why in the fuck do I not have it available? You have been triggered? What happened? Autofocus? There you go. Autofocus. There it is. So Mahiru's skill autofocus is what will let you do it. What do you mean you've been triggered, though? I'm sorry.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hiyoko got abducted.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious.
Can I just say, I really love the skill distribution system in this game, especially compared to the first game, where when you were talking to characters, you would just fucking get whatever they would give you at the particular time, which meant that you didn't necessarily know who had what. You really had to guess at it in a lot of cases, and if you ended up spending 7, 8, or 9 times talking to somebody, you ended up not getting anything useful from talking to them except more fucking SP points. This time you can just pick what you want.
Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that.
I won't lose.
Really, Akane? Okay.
Are you saying my gut was wrong? This could be my first and last highlight of the day. Why won't you just let me shine already?
Because you're wrong?
No! That's not the issue.
Shut up! Enough with your fancy talk. I'll shut you up right now.
For the characters, no. I don't think so, anyway.
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak, and that's why the killer targeted her.
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed up. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer!
Wrong.
Allow me to cut through those words!
Well, it's the skills that you unlock from the characters
The reason Hiyoko's kimono was
are
messed up
hidden.
was because she wasn't able to properly wear it.
The ones that you can get from the report card are always available to you to see whatever it is that you want. And all I see is deep inside boobs.
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she decided to go out on her own.
Yoko seemed to be really struggling with wearing her kimono. I believe that was one of the reasons she locked herself in her room. That is why I informed her. I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the music venue, and I suggested that she use it.
Then the reason her kimono was messed up wasn't because she fought the killer.
It's because she sucks at tying kimonos. Even in death, she fucking sucked.
Yeah, she went to the venue on her own just to fix her messed up kimono.
I get it. I lost. Boil me, burn me, take off my clothes. Do whatever you want to me.
What is it with all these fucking people and taking off their fucking clothes?
Hajime, now's your chance. Make her admit defeat. Or better yet, make her do a little something something.
Dude, you're fucking gross as hell. You're terrible.
Then, The killer probably couldn't have assumed that Hiyoko would go to the music venue.
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she provided Hiyoko with that information.
And suddenly I feel like he's the killer. I don't know why.
Though I knew she would go there, there is no way I could have predicted when she would arrive.
Don't go doubting Miss Sonia, you cretin. I'll put you and your hamsters 6 feet under.
Kazuichi, it seems you have quite the fashion sense. Do you want me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do that while you're wearing them.
Gundam, please stop! For his sake!
Huh? What do you mean, for my sake?
Of course. I've already overlooked no less than 10 opportunities to kill you.
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did Hiyoko get killed in the music venue?
The only thing I can think of is, it was an unfortunate coincidence.
Coincidence?
When she went to the venue by herself, she was probably just unlucky and walked in on the crime scene.
I know that's just an indirect representation of the killer to indicate that we don't know who it is, but I'm pretty sure that this is how several different pornographic mangas have started. Like, seriously, just look at that for 1 second. Just naked fucking gray guy.
She was killed so there wouldn't be any loose ends?
It probably happened when the killer was preparing to kill Ibuki. The killer most likely had already placed the hemp bag over her head, and without hesitation,
Killed Hiyoko.
because the killer used that coincidence for their crime, it made this case even trickier.
That's the reason they imitated the movie to falsify the murder sequence.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't plan on committing imitation murders at first.
Then what was the killer actually planning to do? They've been cunning this far. There's no way they'd kill Ibuki without a plan. Do you have any ideas?
Damn, we don't know the most important part.
Hey Nagito, any ideas?
Hey, how long are you gonna stay quiet?
Oh, am I allowed to speak? I'm so happy I'm getting goosebumps. Everyone actually needs help from scum like me.
So what do you think?
I was thinking about it while I had my mouth shut. But now I'm finally able to come to a conclusion. Ibuki definitely didn't commit suicide.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I thought there might be a possibility that she faked her death and tampered with the crime scene. But now I remember. There was blood on Ibuki's slippers. So if she faked her death and walked around the music venue tampering with the crime scene, there'd be bloody footprints left in various places throughout the venue.
Yeah, DanganRonpa Zero is really good, dude.
So that's why I think there's no way she faked her death. There's no way Ibuki committed suicide.
I didn't particularly care for the way that it ended, but I understood it.
You know, we already finished talking about that a while ago.
Huh? Really? That's annoying. I guess I should just awkwardly laugh about it then.
Are you freaking kidding me? There's no limit to how useless you can be.
That's strange. That's very strange.
This is strange? What's strange?
Do. There's no blood on the steps of the step ladder. Ba-dow!
I can prove it with this. If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself, it's strange that there weren't any footprints on it.
Huh? There weren't?
Yeah, that stepladder was completely clean. No footprints or bloodstains at all.
Now we should note that we're looking at a fucking picture where there's blood on the fucking side of the goddamn stepladder. So while I understand what their point was, they should have phrased that differently because you just sound stupid when you say it like that. And we're literally looking at a picture where there's blood on the fucking side of the stepladder, you asshole.
You noticed such a small detail. How amazing. This is truly the talent of a chosen ultimate.
Didn't you say you saw that video of Ibuki climbing the stepladder? Then I think there's no doubt that she really did climb it. Unless there was something funny about that video.
I see. So there was some kind of trick arranged in that video,
But that's something only Hajime would know, since he's the only one who saw that video.
Hajime, I leave it in your hands.
As long as I leave this to you, I won't tell you to do your best, but oh well. You should get started already.
Yeah, I'll definitely try.
Yeah, I mean, I think that comes down honestly to a bigger problem. The game, you get the impression, I think, from playing a lot of the game, that Nippon Ichi didn't realize that the game was going to do as well as it did, and that they had always intended to bring out the second one. Right, exactly. Like, they looked and they realized, holy shit, DanganRonpa 1 is doing fucking amazing numbers. And it's clear that the second one is, because the hit count on my fucking guide is going through the damn roof. But you have to think about it and be like, they looked at the situation and said, Jesus Christ, we have to rush this out as quickly as possible. And I can understand that striking while the iron is hot concept. They wanted to make their money, don't get me wrong, but there are points where, you know, text just goes off into a third line that doesn't exist, or words aren't properly capitalized. At one point during this whole sequence, when they said movie, they typed that out as move. It's just translation stuff that didn't come through right, or wasn't done, or whatever. And you distinctly get the impression that if they had spent like 2-3 more months putting this game in the can, it wouldn't have been nearly as obvious. Like, I feel like they rushed through. It doesn't happen a lot. It happens enough to be noticeable. But, like, it's not to the example of, like, Lux Pain, where, like, everything is typos everywhere. Yeah, that's probably part of it. I didn't know it was a different editor, but that's probably part of it. I would say a big part of it was just that they were rushed. You know, the first game came out in February, and this one came out in August. Like, that can't be a good timeline.
Right, I remember now. There was definitely something strange about that video.
Can you explain it to us?
What's strange is that stepladder I mentioned earlier. It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirty, but on one side...
Oh, it came out in the beginning of September. Okay. I didn't remember the exact time it came out.
There was a bloodstain, right on the left side of the stepladder.
But then think about it that way, too. They sent me a copy of the game in August, which means the game was in the can in August. So it's 6-7 months that they had, you know, to translate a game with this much fucking talking in it. You know, I hope they made their money back on it, I really do. I hope that it was a wise investment for them, honestly, to try and get the second game out as fast as they did. But honestly, to me, I would have pushed it back into the next year. I don't think they did, dude, honestly. And again, I think it comes down to timeliness. I think it comes down to getting the game out as quickly as possible, making their release date.
However, that contradicts the video I saw at the hospital.
Oh, I would not have waited for a Christmas release. Not for something this under the radar. I would have pushed it back to early next year, like January or February. Maybe even like closer to March, so that you still... No, February would have been good. Because you still would have been able to take advantage of people who were getting in their tax refunds, but you wouldn't have run into the wall of releases coming out in March, April. February of next year would have been good. It would have given a full year, so you would have given more time for people to want a sequel. But at the same token, you also would have been in the position where there wasn't anything coming out around it, so you would have been able to make the optimal amount of money off it. If they had put it out in November or December, that game wouldn't have sold shit. Yeah, like October might have been okay. November's way too late. November's way too late for them. October, I don't think, has a lot of huge releases, so they might have been okay. Really? What's coming out in October? Well, it also comes down to stuff that's coming out, too. There may just be something that's coming out that you or I are not aware of for some reason. Do I not have game file? I have no idea. Okay. There you go. Okay, stuff got pushed back. Alright. No, but if there's a lot of releases in the month, it can still be painful. If they pushed everything back to November or December, that'd make sense.
That is truly strange. If the video showed the moment of Ifuki's death, then Hiyoko should have already been dead by that point.
Yeah, my thing is, if they had pushed it back to something like November or December, it would have been competing with every other Christmas release, and it would have been lost in the shuffle and buried. Yeah, like Crystal's commenting on what Zeke is saying, more so. The idea of taking advantage of Halloween. Which, to a point, maybe. But, yeah, like, I think this game is going to probably stand on its own merits for the people who are fans of it. So, Zeke's argument, like, or not so much argument, Zeke's comment on it, like, The Evil Within, for example, or Aliens would have done well from marketing towards Halloween because people are looking for scares. This game isn't scary, it's just fucked up. Like, it's not, you're not going to be scared playing this game. There's never a point where you could die in the strictest sense of things. It's more psychological horror, and that doesn't really mesh with Halloween so much. You might be able to get a small amount of buys if you market it right, but like The Evil Within or Dead Space would do better in that holiday. If the releases in October are limited, though, yeah, they could have pushed it back to October and it probably would have done okay. Anything beyond that, they would have gotten completely fucking buried by all of the other releases coming out. Yeah, but on that point, Aaron, by the alternative, Madden and Destiny don't have a cross-reference to this game. They don't. I cannot think of anybody that I know who plays Madden or Destiny, which is a lot of people, who even knows what DanganRonpa is. Like, Mike, for example, would have no idea what DanganRonpa is if he wasn't on the stream right now. He doesn't play Madden, but he likes first-person shooters. Most of the people that I know who like those kind of games, like even Joel and Sean, my local friend Sean, have no interest in DanganRonpa at all. They don't have any interest in Madden, but they like Destiny. Destiny's not my favorite first-person shooter, but that's not my argument necessarily. That's right. It's the thing is that Destiny and Madden are marketed to a very specific group of people. People who cross-reference to those kind of games, and people who would fit within that cross-reference where they also like DanganRonpa are small. It's a very small market, and you're probably not going to feel a significant dent. If anything, competing against those games isn't really competing at all. So from that perspective, the game released at an optimal time. If you had been competing against a Tales game, on the other hand, you'd probably see some significant loss. Because that audience probably crosses into the audience DanganRonpa is aiming for a lot more.
Even so, the fact is the stepladder had blood on it at the actual crime scene.
Really? So when did you pick up that PlayStation 4 and Xbox One?
But the stepladder in the video was completely bloodless.
And there's no way the video was recorded in advance. If that's the case, the only thing I can think of is...
It's possible those two stepladders were completely different.
Wait, are you saying there were two stepladders?
But where would you find another stepladder? There was only one stepladder in the music venue.
I don't know. How about in the fucking gigantic grocery store that has fucking everything we could ever want?
Then one of the stepladders was somewhere other than the music venue. What do you mean?
You're suggesting that the stepladder in the video isn't the only thing that's different. Am I right? That's amazing, Chiaki! All that gaming has given you incredible deduction skills. Is it okay to say that?
What are you two talking about?
I mean, that's fine. I'm just saying. I appreciate the comment of you being the market, but I can poop all over that. Poop, poop. Poop, poop. Poop, poop. Poop, poop, poop. Poop, poop. Oh, got another fucking improved Hangman's Gambit, and there's a fucking logic dive right after it. Kill me. Just fucking kill me. Oh my god. I-L... Holy shit, I actually got like a bunch of useful stuff all at once. That like never happens. Yeah, it's fine. I don't care.
Besides the stepladder, the filming location must have been different too.
What do you mean?
I imagine there's probably more than one person in the entirety of the United States who wants to play Danganronpa, Madden, and Destiny all at one time. There aren't a lot of them, but there's probably 2 or 3 people who are interested in all 3 games at once. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop.
I mean, the video I saw was not filmed at the music venue. It was filmed somewhere else.
Oh, I'm sure it's fucking nasty on higher difficulties. I just really don't want to deal with it. Ever.
Then, there's a possibility that the killer also tampered with the surveillance camera unit.
They are somewhere. We need to form a community. Do all of you have to hate Monster Hunter too? Yeah, r/weird shit. Ooh-wee. Ah, I missed the other one. Oh well. Ah, I didn't make it. Damn it. Damn it. I am having no end of problems with this last section. There we go. Oh, but we're about to reveal the killer, Crystal. No, we legit are, actually. We have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more prompts. Of which 1 is a debate, 1 is a hangman's gambit, and 3 are just choices.
It's all coming together. That's it. The killer just brought the camera from the music video. With it, they made me think it was a live feed from the venue.
Then only the monitor was left in the music venue?
Yes, at least when I first discovered Ibuki's body. But when Hyoko's body appeared, the killer probably put the camera back too.
That might actually have something to do with the fucking high encoding. They're telling me on the preview that it's stuttering a bit too. Hold on a second.